Welcome back on the program. Well, this morning we'll be turning our attention, like I told you earlier, that the papers are not here. Maybe due to the flood or the rain. Well, there are some certain times that we have some challenges as human beings. But so just bear with us. The papers are not here, but the show continues. This morning we'll turn our attention to PMB's second term. What are the expectations? Well, President Buhari was sworn in for the second term. Well, a few days ago, that's low-key event had no inaugural speech. A lot of people have questioned that. Why is it that the president came and he took his oath of office and he didn't say anything to Nigerians? Do we have to wait till June the 12th to get what the president has for the nation? My guest is joining me on the program this morning is Olusegun Okwade. Olusegun Okwade is a chartered accountant and also a public affairs analyst. Many thanks for joining us on the program this morning.
Morning, Mr. J.
Thank God it's Saturday. Well, on Saturday,
of course,
we take it very easy on the program. For those who are having the Owambes, what do you have to say to them? Like I said earlier, when you drive, do not drink. When you drink, don't drive.
Of course, on a Saturday like this, you just need to make it low and at the same time enjoy all work and no play. Make Jack a very dull boy. So after having an hectic week, you should relax on a Saturday like this and have fun and make use of that particular day so that you can go before the presence of God tomorrow and set the way right
and lift up the holy hands in one accord. Very interesting there, Olusegun. Well, after all much said and done, the D-Day was here talking about the presidential inaugural day, May 29th, 2019. The president was sworn in, the vice president was sworn in, and about 26 governors in Nigeria were also sworn in. What do you have to say concerning the swearing in of President Muhammadu Buhari for the second time?
Yeah, it's the election came in February and he won, and we actually await the day. But the most disappointing thing is that we expected the president kind of to give a word, and quite shocking, the first in his history having an inaugural ceremony like this without a speech, even if it's going to be thank you my people for the opportunity the first time and the opportunity bringing me the second time, and even give the commitment that come June you'll be having a very good word from me. Quite disappointing, but we can't do anything. It's come, it's gone. And we look forward from what the press people said. His team said that by June 12th, he's going to have a speech for us.
Is there any impact on for the inaugural speech we make? What is the impact of this inaugural speech? If you're saying you're highly disappointed, and some Nigerians were also.
You know, it's going to give like a sense of direction. What are the expectations of the government for the second term? He had it the first time. There is great impact because within the next 2 weeks, we have 2 weeks gap between now and June 12th. There are several things that will definitely happen. I'm sure in between that period, that's when the NAS will definitely come in. But people need to just know, whet our appetite. Even if you want to come and give an elaborate one on June 12th, there should be something to guide us and tell us that this is the path we want to go for the next second whatever, because we've given you a mandate and we expect a word from you. But like I said initially, it's come, it's gone, and we are waiting June 12th when he will give us his speech of the direction for the second administration.
If you recall that it was May 29th, 2015, when he made that particular pronouncement that I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody. A lot of people have questioned why will the president open his mouth to say such a comment, because there's no day, no time the president of Nigeria will make a speech that people will not fault.
Yeah, you see, whether positive, negative, whatever you say, people are bound to say one thing or the other because our views pertaining to every word differs. So I belongs to nobody, I belongs to everybody. That's his own slogan. That's what he believes. Interpretation of it might differ, and people are bound to react. Like, okay, look at it. He mentioned that in the first time in 2015 we picked. Now he's not saying anything. We are complaining again. So whichever way the die tires, we are expecting people to react. But what we're just after is for the president to have a focus, to have a drive. He is the number one citizen who will give direction. Is whatever step he takes, others will follow. And that's why we are of the opinion that on the first day of taking hold of office, there are little expectation of him to just give a word. Even if he's going to give us another slogan, we know the slogan for 2015, he should have given something and expect more.
And expect reactions of Nigerians?
Of Nigerians, yeah. But being silent doesn't really give anything. It's just like having a small ceremony. Even if you have people come on board in the private sector, in the school, there are bound, for every inaugural ceremony, there are bound to be inaugural speech. You are bound to talk to us.
But if you listen to do I use the word former Minister of Information, July Mohammed, did say that this May 29 presidential inauguration is in a low key. So why are you also expecting, are you one of the few people or few Nigerians expecting inaugural speech from the president?
Low key has to do with the normal jamboree that they do. Inaugural speech has nothing to do whether it's going to be low or high. The fact remains that you have a word to give to the people that you intend, that have given you their mandates. You are taking oath of office to say, this is what I want to do for you, and you must just give it out. You must not keep us in silence, in suspense, and people start thinking, is it this direction, is it that direction? I can tell you that several things are going to be put on hold until we have him talk, because his speech will definitely give direction. It will transform things. It will change things. Somebody was telling me yesterday that people are very skeptical of the direction he's going to take, because towards the end of his administration, he made mention that there are flaws during the first term in office, and he's going to do so many. So everybody is being careful because they know he's a man that when he speaks, he stands by it. So they are looking at, let me say, the body language. During the first time, there were no much of words, but it was body language. But the body language didn't really take us so far. So we expect words to back up his action this time around.
Are you one of the few Nigerians who indeed say that they are not that comfortable with having June 12 as Democracy Day? What's your opinion concerning this day?
June 12 is just a day to celebrate democracy. Before now, everybody has been clamoring that the free and fair election, best organized in Nigeria, was on June 12, 1993. And that day supposed to be set aside as against May 29. Now it's coming in. It's just a day of celebration to respect and give respect to possibly MKO Abiola and bringing in democracy into our country. So whether it's June 29, whether it's June 12, whether it's May 29, the most important thing is that it's just a celebration. I'm sure you know that will cost another, cost us money to celebrate that day. So if I believe after now, maybe the next 4 years, June 29 will definitely be eradicated. Because part of the things we advocate for in this country is that we should minimize our wastage.
May 29.
May 29
okay.
Should be stepped aside.
All
possibly right. And make June 12 handover date and inaugural date.
And that can't be done without constitutional amendments.
Yeah, maybe it should be part of what they should, because for me, it's wastage. June 29, May 29, you're going to possibly have public holiday. Just look within the space of this period. Coincidentally, we're having
the Eid al-Fitr
coming up. And within two weeks, you're having like 5 productive days being lost. May 29 was stepped aside as a public holiday. Everyone was indoor. You're having June 4th and 5th. So again, June 12th. We should be mindful of some of these things because it has economic impact.
What is your assessment of the executive and the 8th Assembly? If you had to score them, what will you say?
Yeah, for me, the 8th Assembly, I won't score them more than 30%.
Why?
The laws.
Do you want them as to be seen as a rubber stamp legislature?
It's not an atmosphere of saying rubber stamp legislators, but they themselves, they should criticize things and speed up those process. You are bound to have you perceive what I'm perceiving from the other side. But even if you're not going to be a rubber stamp person, make your stand known early enough. This budget we're talking about got to them before the end of last year. And you keep
sometimes in December.
In December. But you see situation where we have, it's in this part of the world, it's quite funny. They will leave December and resume possibly around March, April. For 2-3 months, you won't see those guys doing anything. They are just, I ask myself question, what are they doing when they are on recess? They will tell you the house is on break.
Oversight functions?
Where? They are supposed to be meeting. If you look at some of those parliament out there, you sit them on board every day. It's a full-time job. And that's why we are asking, if you are going to be having recess for 2-3 months, 4 months, then let's engage you on part-time. We know that you have other things that you're doing and not just facing our business only. But if you're going to be here, it's just like the executive telling you that they will be on recess for 1 month, 2 months. You are out there to work every day. That is why we are paying you salary. Not you telling us you are here today and the next thing you are going on recess for what? To go and take care of what? Constituency?
Well, definitely they will tell you they are doing oversight functions, looking at constituency projects.
They should look at it. You see, when you come about that area, I don't like discussing it because to me it's disgusting. What do we call constituency project? These are things you should give instruction to. You see, we synergize. The executive needs you and you need them. It's just when they need some things to pass, they need you. When you need some projects to be executed, you need them. So it's just to instruct and say, look, in my area, I need this road constructed. And I want that factored into your budget that you're bringing and must be executed. But you discover that because of our self-centeredness, everybody wants to be saying that Sheson did this road. But you are not doing that road with your money. You're doing it with taxpayers' money. So why do you want people to identify that community project to you? It's about governance. Government has done this for us. But because we are so weakling, what everybody expects is that, let's look at the last 4 years. This is what Sheson has done for us as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But is it about him? It's not his funds. It's federal government money that was allocated to him to execute the project. So I feel for what is expected of the legislators is to just make sure that these are my community projects that I want executed during this period, during this financial year, which is the budget year. Can you please get this done? And we do that, pockets of that. If you are unable to finish one a particular year, we can migrate it and that will go around.
Let's go back to this issue of anti-corruption drive. Before we move to the issue of tackling insecurity in Nigeria, what is your assessment 4 years ago under this administration in the anti-corruption fight?
Pardon me, 40%. 40%. We've been able
despite some of the court challenges, processes in the courts.
Until when those things are executed, when those things are actually brought to bear that, okay, because we've seen scenario where you go to court and you come out clean, and what have we gone out of it? Nothing.
Because Saraki at CCT was discharged and acquitted despite
he's part of all the allegations, all the papers. At the end, they say he's discharged and acquitted, and as far as I'm concerned, that's not an achievement. You didn't do your due diligence. You didn't do your due work. You should nip somebody by the butt that when you are taking him to the court, the guy should be shivering. But these days, you take people to court and they are smiling because they know the end. You have
about 80 senior advocate of Nigeria following them to court.
Of course, everybody is being paid. Why won't you? If they even want me to give financial services for them, why won't I do? It's about our money.
But can you do that for the poor? Because a lot of poor people, indigent people, who don't even have that money to get a lawyer, nobody's defending them. But for someone who has the allegation of about 2.5 billion on him, you see senior advocate of Nigeria following them to court.
It's about everybody's belly. It's about what people are able to make out of it. He has the finance to have 80 son following him to court. But the poor guy has nothing. He dies. And we keep saying that you are there to serve the people. Why can't you just put those, let's say 1/4 of those guys together and allow them to assist the poor when they need some of this issue? You are talking of son. He's having 80 son. You cannot even get an ordinary lawyer, a charge and bail lawyer, as a poor guy, to to defend you in court. without you having some things in hand. So these are part of the problems that we have. Some of those things, that's why I tell you that I can't score them more than 40%. They were able to identify, but we are unable to nip them by the bud.
But to be fair to this administration, 4 years ago, under this administration, that's where we saw all these high, powerful revelations coming under the anti-corruption drive.
Yeah, revelations, but those revelations cannot, to me, be substantiated. And the fact that this person is having so much that he has taken, by now, we should say we've recovered it, and this is his way to the jail.
We've had some of these high-profile cases who have come out to do what we call plea bargaining.
Why should we do that? Plea bargaining shouldn't be something we should give. Because what you're saying is that, oh, you are patting the person at the back. You've stolen 1 billion. Can you give us 500 million out of it and just go your way? That's really uncalled for. If you admit that this, because anybody coming for plea bargaining admitted wholeheartedly that this was actually committed, and that's enough evidence to nip him by the bud. Not requesting for part of it and say, okay, go and sin no more. It's only Jesus that has
How many of
that.
this did you had in the time past under previous administration? We never had sought, because there are accusations of people taking resources of the federal government to become their personal money into their personal accounts.
You see, what I will charge the President Buhari in this administration is that we appreciate him for that first one. Plea bargaining is coming up, but people are admitting that, sir, don't send me to jail. But here am I. I'm delivering this to you. Let me just be. This second time, he has nothing to lose because he's not coming back. Plea bargain, once you just come out and make this revelation to us that, sir, this that you have actually done, I admit doing it, let's just nip the person and allow the person to go and eat his beans in the prison. They